My name is Rajeshwari. I am working as CRT social teacher in KGBV, Pungunur. Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all safe at your home. Welcome to the session. Today, topic about Chapter 3, Hydrosphere, 9th class. See the mind map, children. See and write in your notebook. Hydrosphere means the reliance of water is called hydrosphere. It comes from the Greek word hydr. Hydr means water. Some part of water is found deep down under the earth among rocks. It comprises various sources of water and different types of water bodies like rivers, lakes, seas, oceans, etc. Hydrological cycle. Water is a cyclic renewable resources. It can be used and reused. Water undergoes a cycle from oceans to land and then from land to the oceans. Hydrological cycle is the circulation of water in different forms, that is, the liquid, solid, and the gases. It also refers to the continuous exchange of water between the oceans, atmosphere, land surface, subsurface, and all organisms. The hydrological cycle sometimes is expressed mathematically as RF is equal to RO plus ET. RF means rainfall. RO means runoff. ET means evapotranspiration. This figure is hydrological cycle. There are 6 stages of water cycle. First one, evaporation. Second one, transportation. Third one, condensation. Fourth one, precipitation. Fifth one, runoff. Sixth one, groundwater. We will discuss about one by one. First one, evaporation. Water is transferred from surface to the atmosphere through evaporation, the process by which water changes from a liquid to a gas. The sun's heat provides energy to evaporate water from the Earth's surface. Land, lakes, rivers and oceans send up a steady stream of water vapor. Plants also lose water to the air through transpiration. Next one, transportation. The movement of water through the atmosphere, specifically from over the ocean to over land, in the form of clouds. Clouds are propelled from one place to another by either upper air circulation, surface based circulations like land and sea breezes. Next one, condensation. The transported water vapor eventually condenses, forming tiny droplets and clouds. Next one, precipitation. The primary mechanism for transporting water from the atmosphere to the surface of the earth is precipitation. When the clouds meet cool air over land, precipitation in the form of rain, sleet or snow is triggered and water returns to the land. Next one, runoff. Most of the water which returns to the land flows down hills as runoff. Some of it penetrates and charges groundwater, while the rest, as river flow, returns to the oceans where it evaporates. Next, last one, groundwater. Under special circumstances, groundwater can even flow upward in artesian wells. The flow of groundwater is much slower than runoff. The hydrological cycle is not a simple circulation of water between ocean, atmosphere and the land. Excess of pure water, 68.7% ice and snow, 29.9% underground water, 1.4% rivers, lakes and reservoirs, total 100%. Water sources, 97.25% of water is saline ocean waters and only 2.75% is fresh water. The greatest portion of the fresh water, that means 68.7%, is in the form of ice and permanent snow cover in the Antarctica, the Arctic, and in the mountain regions. 29.9% existence as fresh groundwaters. Only 0.26% of the total amount of fresh water on the earth. Next one, oceans. Continents and oceans are the first order relief features of the earth. The huge water bodies are called oceans. The geographers have divided the oceanic part of the earth into 5 oceans, namely the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean or Antarctic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean. These are the 5 oceans. The word sea is often used interchangeable with the ocean, but strictly speaking, a sea is a body of saline water, partly or fully enclosed by land. Next one, sea floor diagram. This is the ocean floor diagram. This is the ocean floor diagram. Relief of the ocean. Ocean floor is divided into 4 parts. Ocean flow is divided into 4 parts. First one, continental shelf. Second one, continental slope. Third one, deep sea plain. Fourth one, oceanic deeps or trenches. We will discuss one by one. First one, continental shelf. Continental shelf is important because fish wealth is more in this region. Rock, petroleum, natural gases are found here. Building seaports is possible here. So that's why continental shelf is important. Continental slope, next one. It comprises of 15% of the ocean area. Submarine canyons are observed in this region. These are formed by erosion process of glaciers and rivers. Next, third one, deep sea plain. Deep sea plains are gently sloping areas of the ocean's basins. They are the flattest and smoothest regions of the world. The depth vary between 3000 to 6000 meters. It covers about 76.2% of the ocean basin. Next one, oceanic deeps or trenches. These are the large narrow trenches that plunge as great ocean deeps to a depth of 6000 meters. Most of the deepest trenches are not located in the midst of oceans. They are found more close to the continents. Next topic, salinity of the ocean. Water is very strong solvent. The total amount of dissolved solids in the sea water is referred as salinity. This is due to rivers which bring huge amounts of mineral salt dissolved in water. Evaporation, which transforms water into vapor, makes the mineral content of the ocean increase. This is the figure of water salinity. Highest salinity in water bodies. Lake Van in Turkey, 330%. Dead Sea in Turkey, 238%. Great Salt Lake, USA, 220%. Lowest salinity in water bodies. Baltic Sea, 3 to 15%. Hudson Bay, 3 to 15%. Salinity is measured in 1 grams per kg of sea water. Sodium chloride is important salt among the salts dissolved in the sea water. 35 grams of salt is dissolved in 1000 grams or liter of water is known as normal salinity. Normal salinity is 35%. All sea water contains salt 77.8%. River water contains 2% of sodium chloride. Next, factors affecting salinity in surface layers of ocean. First one, evaporation and precipitation. Second one, in coastal regions by the fresh water flow from rivers, and in polar region by the process of freezing and thawing of ice. Next, winds by transferring water to other areas. Fourth one, the ocean currents. Here is isolines. Isolines means a line joining the points in the ocean having the same degree of salinity. Repeat again. A line joining the points in the ocean having the same degree of salinity. This is called isoline. Next one, ocean temperature. When compared to land, the temperature in oceans does not show much variation, but this little variation show great impact. For example, the activitiness of southwest monsoon in India is affected by El Nino and La Nino. El Nino, a warm ocean current of variable force that develops after the coast of Ecuador and Peru and sometimes causes harmful weather conditions. La Nino, a cold ocean current of variable force that develops after the coast of Ecuador and Peru sometimes causes harmful weather conditions. The temperature of the surface of water varies between -2 degrees Celsius and 29 Celsius. The ocean temperature is influenced by latitudes, winds, ocean currents, unequal distribution of land, and changes of seasons. Ocean currents. The ocean currents is the general movements of mass of water in a fairly defined direction over great distance. Ocean currents may be classified based on temperature. Cold ocean current, warm ocean current. Cold ocean currents flow from poles to equator. Warm ocean current flow from equator to poles. They are classified based on speed as stem and drift. The stem means speed flow of ocean current. Stem means speed flow of ocean current. Drift means slow surface movement. Slow surface movement. This is the ocean currents diagram. This diagram also given in your textbook. World's ocean currents. Formation of ocean currents. Formation of ocean currents. First one, centrifugal force. The centrifugal force at a at the equator is greater than that at the poles, because the great circles at the time of revolution coincide with the equator. The variation of this force makes the equatorial water to move towards the poles. Effect of winds. The stress due to wind and the wind movement modifies the theoretical direction of currents in the direction of winds. Effect of precipitation. The equatorial areas receive the greatest rainfall, hence the sea level is higher. As a result, water moves north and south from the equator. Effect by solar energy. Heating by solar energy causes the water to expand. That is why near the equator the ocean water is about 8 centimeters higher in the level than in the middle latitudes. Salinity, density differences, melting of ice also affect the ocean current. Next, last one, ocean as a resources. Human beings have depended on oceans for fish and salt. We also use the sand, gravel, etc. Ocean waves are used for generating power. Ocean floor is mined for oils. Oceans provide gems and pearls. Oceans act as international highways. Yet today, oceans have all fallen victims. Whales have been disappearing. Oceans have also become dumping ground for our plastic and other forms waste. Rock petroleum, natural gases are extracted from oceans. Okay students, thank you one and all.